My friend, Doc Martin here. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that alert notification button too. Thanks so much. Today, I continue with my discussion about stress. And I'd like to take a moment to further explain what I mean by reframing. When it comes to challenging behaviors, we often assume that the individual has deliberately chosen to misbehave. Many current treatment approaches focus on what are considered common causes of behavior challenges: social attention, to get noticed or acknowledged by others; escape, avoidance, to get away from a situation or task the person finds difficult; tangible, to get something they want, food, activities, etc., or sensory, because it feels good. Reframing behavioral challenges means to shift how we view these behaviors, not as misbehavior, but as stress behavior. We look at the individual through a new lens, a lens that views challenging behaviors as manifestations of physiological stress responses that occur when the individual is feeling threatened. Problematic behaviors are viewed as signs of when the individual is overstressed. We no longer ask, why did he do that? But instead we ask, why now? The instant you recognize that the individual's intense emotions are caused by too much stress, your whole relationship is transformed. Using this new lens and viewing behaviors as stress adaptations, you move from making behavioral compliance the goal to prioritizing emotional and relational safety as the goal, creating an optimal state for the person to eventually develop self-regulation and internal control behaviors. Now, back to stress. In the last video, I talked about stress as a process, not as a singular event. And this process includes 4 components. 1, the external causal agent, the stressor. 2, a cognitive appraisal of the event to determine if it's harmful or not, the appraisal. 3, consequential effects on the mind and body, or the stress response. And 4, coping mechanisms to reduce the harmfulness of this event or agent, the coping response. I'll give you another example to make this clear. My child starts screaming and have a meltdown, the stressor. I think, oh no, there he goes again, the appraisal. My heart starts beating fast, my hands shake, I've started getting angry and upset, the stress response. I start to scream at my child to be quiet, or I take a mindful pause, take 3 deep breaths. Both are coping responses, one unhealthy and one healthy. One question that comes to mind as I talk about the different components is, why do we have a stress response? But before I talk about this, please hit the like button and subscribe one too if you find this information useful. We have a stress response because it is essential to our survival. Modern humans have been around for at least 100,000 years. We've spent 90% or 99% of that time living in the wilderness, where we face dangers of very different kinds than we come across today. Back then, we needed to be alert and aware of our surroundings so that we didn't fall victim to wild animals or rival tribes. Everyone alive today is the result of our learning to react effectively to danger. If our ancestors had to come face to face with a dangerous animal in the wilderness, they had 2 choices: fighting back or trying to outrun it, fight or flight. So stress can be acute, short-term, or chronic, long-term. For example, a family whose breadwinner is out of work for a few weeks might experience stress for a short period of time. But a family that includes a child with autism is faced with situations that are likely to result in chronic stress and stress levels. Let's talk about short-term stress. When the fight or flight response activates in a threatening situation, it gives you a temporary performance boost. Body and mind are mobilized to averse the threat. The heart starts pumping faster, increase blood flow to all major muscles, and supply the body with more oxygen. and our thinking becomes almost entirely focused on survival. The purpose is to boost our body's strength and speed. This state of short-term or acute stress can be helpful to us. Our bodies are built to cope with such short-term stress. Short-term stress in modern life might occur in connection with an accident or when you're in a difficult situation. You need to run to catch a bus or you're about to make a presentation. When the immediate danger has been averted, when you've caught the bus or when you finish your presentation, your body immediately starts to recover. After a while, the body has regained its balance and starts to rebuild its resources to prepare for the next challenge. Now, chronic stress or long-term stress is what happens when the stressor continues day after day. It might manifest as a never-ending concern, grinding over and over again, finding the right balance between work and family. Chronically activated stress means increased blood pressure, increased risk of heart attack, weakened immune system, and life-threatening illnesses. Pausing and reflecting on your life can be very unpleasant when you're already afflicted by stress. These feelings can manifest as physical afflictions or psychological pains, such as sadness, anger, loneliness, or anxiety. When chronically stressed, we might neglect signals of poor sleep, hunger, or fatigue. Again, the body displays negative and serious symptoms when suffering from chronic stress. This type of stress is detrimental to our physical health and can also bring about depression or other mental health problems. Our life is full of daily hassles and upsets. Most of the time we can handle them well and even grow from the experience. But when stress is long-term and chronic, it can be very dangerous. So my question to you for the day is, what are some of your short-term manageable stressors? And do you have chronic stressors in your life? If so, what are they and how do you manage to cope with them in a healthy or unhealthy way? In my next video, I will complete my discussion of stress with the addition of 3 more critical components. How to be a stress detective and identify the stressors, both in your life and in the life of the person you support. How to reduce stressors in both yours and the person you support lives. And how to recharge yourself and the person you support by using positive coping strategies. Now don't forget, if you're interested in everything I'm talking about, hit both the like and subscribe buttons and turn on that little bell next to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my uploads, because I know you're really going to like them. This channel is being designed especially for you. Take a look at my online Moving Beyond Meltdowns Academy that has 2 programs just for you, a mindfulness program and a healthy eating program. Also, take a look at my Healthy Lifestyle Learning Academy designed for people with developmental disabilities, with programs to be done with the help of their support provider. Both links are below. Thanks for watching, and please leave any comments you might have or suggestions for topics you'd like to see covered. I'd really appreciate that. So see you next time, and just keep on trucking.